Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Christian with the Most High Show, Most High Media, and today I'm sitting with my lovely wife, Leslie.
Hi.
And I asked her to sit with me because I can be a little philosophical, a little deep. I can muddy the water a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I asked you because things are pretty straightforward with you, and I appreciate that. And so I wanted to talk with you about this concept. And so I'm going to start, before we dive into it, I want to start and ask you a first question, which is when you look at the world as it is today, okay? The world being the systems in place, the people, the animals, the trees, the whole thing. Do you look at that and do you think it's good or do you think it's bad?
I think it's good.
Why?
Because, well, God created a lot of many things here on Earth. Trees, birds, animals, you get to see that. And just living in the now is also a blessing, on this earth. And I also think it's bad too, but...
Well, tell me about that. Why do you think it's bad too?
Well, it's just what's happening what's going on right now. There's a lot of hate, a lot of war, a lot of confusion and chaos from people.
So you're describing kind of like, here's this great, beautiful world in which we exist in, and it's a blessing to be alive here today, right? And then also, but here's this darkness, here's this evil that, in a sense, or this dysfunctional stuff that happens, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of both of these things are happening.
Yes.
Right. So the question I have to you is, all right, when we're looking at these two things, right? Let's say today is starting out pretty good so far, right? We haven't gotten a fight or anything like that. Everything's pretty good.
It's a blessing.
All right. So, but let's say something happens, right? We get a flat tire. Okay. I'm not trying to speak that into existence, but let's just say something like that happens. Okay. Now, some people, like me, would then go, oh my God, this day's crap. This day sucks. The worst day ever. I got a flat tire. That's all inconvenience. I missed a meeting. I missed this and that, right? Let's say my tire went flat and I didn't have my charger, my phone died, right? So it's like, oh, this is the worst. Now, is the day the worst day ever? Or is my perception of the day the worst day ever because of something that happened to me?
The second one.
The second one. So then my question then to you and to everybody, what I'm trying to get at here is, if we look at the world and we see that there's crap situations that are going on, do we then look at the whole thing and go, oh, the whole thing's crap?
No.
And there's a reason why. Okay? There's a concept in Christianity called original sin. There's another concept that is not talked about too much, and that's called original blessing. So if you look back into the book of Genesis, which Christians revere as the origin story of humanity and the existence of Earth, right? And whether you look at it as a historical book with historical facts, or you look at it as a poem and a story that kind of is doing its best to explain the beginning of creation. Either way, neither takes away the profound depth and understanding of human nature and the world in which we live in that's existing in this book, this first book, okay? And so what it does is it explains that God, as he's creating each section, right? Let there be light, it was dark, now there's light, and then he's forming the mountains and the sea, and then each step of the way he makes this statement. What's the statement he makes?
It is good.
It is good. That is original blessing. That's he's speaking onto this earth. He's speaking onto the creation of humanity. He's saying it is good. That's original blessing. Now, what Christianity as a whole kind of gravitates towards, though, is 2 chapters later, right? It's as if the book don't start till chapter 3. And people focus on what they call original sin. You know what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Adam and Eve taking a bite of the. Oh, I'm sorry, Eve.
Yeah.
Taking a bite.
Well, both of them.
Of the fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the fruit?
What was the fruit?
Mm-hmm.
The apple.
I don't know if it was an apple, but what was?
Oh.
What did that fruit symbolize? What did they gain?
The tree of knowledge. Yeah.
The knowledge of what?
The knowledge of evil.
And
good and evil.
Good and evil. Yes. They ate from the tree with the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
Yes.
So when they ate from the tree and they ate from that fruit, did they immediately get thrown into fire?
No.
Did the darkness fill the land and snakes take over the earth?
No.
Did they immediately start killing each other?
Nope.
No. Did God immediately disown them?
No. Oh yes. Well, no.
Did he? Did he disown them?
No, he did not disown them.
Okay. What did happen was their perception
Right.
of the place that they're in, their reality, changed. Because now they had the knowledge of good and evil. Now they had this thinking that wasn't there before. Right?
Right.
And what did the first thing they did? They were like, ooh, crap, we're naked.
Right. Shame.
Shame. Something's wrong with me. Not something's wrong with this world, not something's wrong with God, something's wrong with me. And what was the first thing they do is they go and they hide. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is God's response. I'm not reading this to you because it's all in there, and you can just read it yourself. Okay?
Right.
I'm just trying to tell the story because ain't nobody got time for all that. Read it on your own time. All right?
Infinite scripture? No.
No, but look.
Oh, yeah.
So here you have God starts walking in the garden. Where are Adam and Eve? They're in the
They're
in the garden.
in the garden.
Where's God?
God's with them.
In the garden.
Right.
After they ate the fruit. So they ate the fruit and they are still cohabitating, coexisting in the same space with God.
Mm.
Now what's God doing? He's walking and he says, well, where are you? He's playing a little game, right? It's like you don't know where they're at. And what are they doing?
Hiding.
They're hiding. Why are you hiding? What does they say?
Why are
They respond. He says, why are you hiding?
because we're naked.
And then he says, who told you you were naked?
Right.
Did you eat from that fruit? Right? And then starts the blame game, then starts the whole thing. So what I'm not saying is I'm not saying that there isn't inherited sin. But what I'm saying is only focusing on inherited sin, you lose the whole picture of the beauty of Christianity. Because yes, something happened. They ate that. Yes, they changed. Yes. Yes, there was consequences, right? You had to heal the soil, childbirth pains, right? Yes, there's consequences, right? But what you see when you read it, you see that the world, them themselves, are the original blessing is not taken away from them. It doesn't say that. You read it yourself. It doesn't say that, right? Matter of fact, what does he start doing immediately? What's the first thing he does?
Give them clothes.
Yeah, he kills an animal, gives them skin to cover them,
Yeah.
right? Now you think you're naked. All right, I'm gonna give you some clothes. So the first thing that God's doing is he's taking care of them. And then he gives them their new instructions. This is how life's gonna be like now, right?
Right.
So does that sound like a God who's disowned his creation because they disobeyed him? Does it?
No.
What does it sound like?
That he's
What does Jesus call God? Jesus
Father.
calls God's Father. So doesn't that sound like a father?
yeah, taking care of them, guiding
It's like,
them.
oh man, you messed up. Here's what's gonna happen. But don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna get you some clothes. Right?
Right.
Now, when you look at it in that lens, to me, the message of Christianity becomes clearer. Right? Because we see that the question comes to this. When you look in your child's eyes, do you feel like the world's good or you feel like the world's bad?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at a dog running through a field, what do you think?
It's cute.
It's cute. It's good. You look at a giant tree towering, providing you shade. And what is it?
It's nice.
It's nice.
Nice feeling.
It's good. Look at a waterfall. You ever stare at a waterfall coming down? Or you ever just lay down and watch the clouds go by?
Right.
So, the whole point of this is to say that it is good. It never stopped being good. Right? And just like I can make a decision about how my day is going to go when bad things happen, I can decide how I'm going to respond. We as humanity, we as Christians especially, can respond with it is good. And how does that change the way we live? How does that change the way we exhibit the fruits of the Spirit? How does that change the way we love other people?
Change the attitude.
Yeah.
You know, always think about, like what God has provided, what has done for us, and
Rejoice always.
right,
Doesn't it make it easier to rejoice always?
right,
Now, when the claim says rejoice always, it's like, oh yeah, of course rejoice always. I'm alive. You're alive. My wife's alive. You know what I mean?
right,
Of course, rejoice always. And so, this is not to get into a theological argument or to undermine essential principles of the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's not to say that. But what it is to say is that if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. Right?
right,
Don't be scared to tell people that it's good. Because it is good. And guess what? It's even better with Jesus.
okay, yeah.
Bam. This message has been brought to you by the makers of Most High Media and fortheart.com. And thank you so much, Leslie, for being here and helping ground and root me and also ground and root my thinking.
Yeah,
It is good.
okay,
You are good.
all right,
And if you're watching this, you are good. You are loved. You are beautiful. And you are capable of loving as God loves you.
and we love you.
And we love you. Mostly.